Well, hello and welcome to the most interesting, I hope, most curious, most investigative tarot reading on the internet, and maybe anywhere else for that matter, for all I know. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and share if you feel so reclined. We need the help. I, among many others, have been noticing kind of numbers fluctuating on the internet. That tells me that the deep state is playing with us and we're not getting accurate, clear readings. So I reach out to you, please. Like, subscribe, share. Help me with the algorithm game that we're playing. So let's get to it. This is the Tao Manifesting Tarot. What's the focus? Manifesting. Now, we all do it. We do it. Well, I think we have it with us since birth, but I think the brain has to develop a little bit. The ego has to develop a little bit. So I'm thinking maybe 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. That's where we begin to want things. We begin to see what we would like in our future. We manifest. And in fact, they've done several studies in terms of creativity. I think 3 or 4 over the past 20, 30 years. They measure the creativity levels in 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds, 15, 20-year-olds, and 25-year-olds. And they found out more education, the less creative you get. 5-year-olds are off the charts. Almost 100% of 5-year-olds are creative, have the creative potential. By the time they graduate from college, and especially if they got like masters or PhDs, they can't think for themselves anymore. All they are good for is memorizing because their creativity factor almost disappears totally. So that's got to tell you something. We have the ability, we have the capacity, but it is taken out of us, and it was done that way because the rich people like the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds, have been controlling and manipulating us so that we're the bots that keep them in control and keep them wealthy. Now, of course, they're coming up with real bots, and that is robots, and you're seeing that they need people less and less, and they make it altogether obvious. They don't give a damn about what we think, what we want, what we feel. It doesn't make any difference. But as children, as 5-year-olds, we have a tremendous creative potential, and it's drummed out of us. In fact, John D. Rockefeller said, and he's the one who primarily set up our educational system in the world. This was back in the early 1900s. He said, I want people graduating who don't think. They simply do. I want workers, not thinkers. You take a look at people and you go, well, he must have succeeded pretty well because that's all we looked for anymore. Yeah, you got a few inventive types, but even many of the businesses that are supposedly invented, they're not invented. They're borrowed from somebody else, and then they're changed around a little bit. Somebody else pops up with it and goes, look what I invented. You didn't invent. You stole. So the capacity to manifest our future, to manifest our surroundings, is in large part our responsibility, our duty, our power. It is the kryptonite against the rest of the world, and especially the robots. They say 5 to 10 years, all jobs are going to be handled by robots. What will happen to human beings? Well, if we listen to Bill Gates and other people like him, even the Georgia Stones, we're going to be gone. They don't want us. Maybe 200-300 million people out of 8 billion. That's it. The rest are gone. The rest are going to be doing robot stuff. In fact, as I understand, some factories in China right now who took jobs from the United States because the business people didn't care about the citizens, fellow citizens, all they were looking at is profit, so they moved their businesses to China. A lot of these factories are what they call dark factories. The robots build everything in the factory. They don't need lights, so they shut the lights. They only put in there what they essentially need to keep the robots going, and that's it. Human beings, who cares? So your kryptonite is the ability to manifest, create pictures in your own head. You don't go to the computer, you don't go to the laptop, desktop, smartphone, you don't do any of that stuff because that's images coming from outside of you. You want the images coming from within you. And that's what this whole thing is about, to make you stronger, more powerful. Build that kryptonite. Let's take a look at the reading. Middle card is where we begin. It's the Oracle card. It kind of gives us the overall feeling for the reading, and it says higher power. We spend a lot of time talking about spirituality, and I don't know whether we have a real handle on it. In part because, ideally, spiritual stuff is, fifth dimensional stuff. We're on the 3D. And even though, if you believe in reincarnation, at some point you were in the 5D, I think it's like a past life. We don't remember. It's just there. It's ether. I don't remember exactly. I may get once in a while a little glimpse of something just blowing through like a breeze, but I don't remember. So it's very difficult, I think, to really grab the essence of spirituality. But higher power. It may be that we operate on much higher power ranges than we're even aware of. After all, it's not encouraged, right? I want a nation of workers, not thinkers. It's not encouraged. Take away your creativity by the time you're in college, man, you have a tough time just tying your shoelaces. So, higher power. How do you, that kryptonite, there you go, kryptonite. How do we tap into the kryptonite? Well, we're going to use as a tool of manifesting. Here's the meme for today. Life is a series of thousands of tiny little miracles. Notice them. Notice them. You're not going to catch them all, but notice as many as you can. First of all, it's going to give you gratitude in life. You're going to be appreciative. Secondly, you're going to be conscious, which very few people qualify as these days, as far as I'm concerned. And the final part for me is the fact that you are recognizing and making contact with that higher power. So life is a series of 1,000 tiny little miracles. Notice them. Which means you have to go outside by going in. That power, that higher power inside of you, waiting right now. That's what you got to do. And this is now especially important because we are in a time, Pluto just turned retrograde. This far, far away planet moves very slowly, has a long orbit, 250 years, but it has tremendous power. It's like if you could move the entire Rocky Mountain chain. Doesn't happen fast, moves very slowly, but it's powerful and it's profound and it's inevitable. So retrograde Pluto says that what you're doing, because Pluto right now has just entered into Aquarius, what you're doing is you're taking a look at your future. And the retrograde part says you are now, anytime you got a retrograde planet, it gives you a chance to re-examine. Take a second look. Not necessarily act. It is more of a passive energy. It's observing. What did I get right? What did I get wrong? Could this be better? Maybe I could do this or this or this. Don't do it, but observe, because the retrograde gives you a chance. It's like a movie played backwards. Gives you a chance to see again, something maybe you didn't see the first time. So Pluto going retrograde means, what do I want my future to look like? Maybe I missed something over the past several months. Because about every 6 or 7 months, Pluto goes retrograde for about 6 or 7 months, something like that. So take the opportunity through the summer to review. What do you want your future to look like? Again, don't make conclusions. Don't be hasty. Remember, Pluto energy, very slow, but profound. Plus, we got the full moon coming up in a few days. So, man, there's some really interesting things going on right now. So you need to reach your higher power, and you do that by going inside to get outside. So let's go. First card all the way to the left, Two of Pentacles. Twos always mean decisions. Pentacles are our value system. What's really important to us? Is it just things? Or is it other people? In this world right now, there is very little feeling or contact with other people. And whatever contact there is usually very, very, very shallow, very empty. That's why we feel disconnected. So do you think, are you one of those people who think, oh, geez, I need a new house, new car, new this, new that, more things, more things, more things to make you happy? Which will never happen, by the way. Some of the saddest people on the planet are people who are billionaires because they're going after things. Not emotion, not intuition, not people, not connection. So it's up to you. And this Pluto retrograde stuff that we have going on now for the next few months, that's a great time to review your values. Again, don't make any instant changes because you want to kind of check things out, test things out, but start to examine. Next card is the Nine of Wands. Wands are positivity, joy, enthusiasm, excitement, gratitude. The Nine of Wands talks about determination, stamina, courage. You've just had your ass kicked, but kicked good. You're not quitting. You're not quitting. Yes, I have to make a choice about what my value system needs to be better, to work better for me. And I'm not going to quit. Not going to quit. I'm going to get in there, dig in there, and I'm going to really take a good look. And the next two cards are exactly the same card from two different decks, and that, of course, is the World card. World card is talking about completion. It's talking about wholeness, accomplishment, integration. And that's what you're really kind of trying to do right now. This Pluto retrograde is giving you a chance to take a look at the future because it's in Aquarius and you're going, okay, so am I going to have a future just like what I have now? Boy, that's not a lot of fun. Got to be better. Well, if it's got to be better, I got to figure out what the hell's important to me. And then I have to commit to it like the Nine of Wands. Because it's coming. I have no choice. Not one, but two World cards says it is coming. You are being given a chance. Question is, are you going to take it? It's a great time for wholeness, integration. That's what each and every one of us is looking for right now. Right now, we're just numbers. We're just a piece of an algorithm. There's no connection. This retrograde Pluto and the full moon are going to start you on that journey. Go for it. You can do this. Really, 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 you can. Just remember, it's going to be slow and steady and powerful. Go outside to get inside. Take a look at what's out there and then change you to have a better fit, to have that joining, that union, that accomplishment. That's the Tao Manifested reading for today. Back again tomorrow with another, because I'm here every day, 365. Please like, subscribe, and share if you're so inclined. Between now and the next time you and I get together to do tarot, peace and blessings.